Have you ever glanced at an old penny and thought it was worthless? What if I told you that one specific penny, small, unassuming, and forgotten in drawers across America, could be worth nearly $1 million? Yes, you heard that right. One rare 1982 Lincoln penny with no mint mark has shocked the numismatic world with a jaw-dropping market value of up to $999,500. And it's still out there, quietly sitting in collections, jars, and pockets, waiting to be discovered. Now imagine this. You find this penny. You sell it. And overnight, you go from struggling to secure your future, to finally affording the life you've always dreamed of. A new home. A better retirement. A legacy for your children. But here's the kicker. Most people toss it aside, never realizing its hidden value. They miss out. You don't have to. This story could be your story. Let's dive into the mystery, the history, and the shocking truth behind the 1982 no mint mark Lincoln penny. Let's rewind to 1982. A year of change. Ronald Reagan was in office, gas was 91 cents a gallon, and the U.S. Mint was making a critical shift in coin production. For decades, pennies were made primarily from copper. But in 1982, due to rising metal costs, the mint began transitioning to a cheaper zinc-based penny with just a thin copper coating. During this change, several variations of the 1982 penny were produced. Some were copper. Some were zinc. Some had a small date. Others had a large date. And some carried mint marks from Denver or Philadelphia. But then, something strange happened. A small number of pennies struck in 1982 had no mint mark at all, and were made from solid copper. This was not supposed to happen. And this is where the legend of the 1982 no mint mark penny begins. You might be wondering, how could such a tiny error make a coin worth hundreds of thousands of dollars? Simple. Rarity and demand. Only a few of these pennies are confirmed to exist. Their combination of copper composition, large date style, and the absence of a mint mark makes them incredibly valuable. In fact, collectors have paid staggering amounts to get their hands on one. The highest reported sale? Just under $1 million. Let that sink in. One penny. Worth almost $1 million. So where are these coins now? That's the mystery. Most are still unaccounted for. They're believed to be scattered in old penny rolls, inherited collections, or even inside your own coin jar at home. And this is where your story could take a dramatic turn. Right now, someone is watching this video and thinking, there's no way I have one of those. But remember this, no one knew they had one until they checked. What if your 1982 penny is the one? Imagine pulling it out, having it verified, and receiving that life-changing phone call. You're no longer just a coin holder. You're holding a ticket to financial freedom. Suddenly, you're not just dreaming of a better life. You're living it. But here's where it gets urgent. Every day, more of these coins are being discovered, graded, and locked away in private collections. That means fewer chances for new finders. The window of opportunity is closing, and fast. Don't let this moment pass you by. Take action. Grab your old coins. Look for a 1982 penny with a large date, made of copper, and most importantly, no mint mark under the year. No D. No P. Just the date alone. Not sure how to tell copper from zinc? Here's a quick tip. Weigh the coin. A copper penny weighs 3.11 grams, while a zinc one is just 2.5 grams. That tiny difference could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Still think it's just a penny? Sometimes, all it takes is one smart move to change everything. So ask yourself. Will you be the one who finds it, or the one who misses out? You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Your next big opportunity might already be sitting in your drawer. Stay curious. Stay hopeful. And above all, check your change. This is more than just a coin. This is your moment. Now go find it. Yes, 1 cent. Just one tiny coin. Imagine waking up tomorrow, opening your old coin collection, and realizing you've been sitting on a fortune this entire time. Not stocks, not crypto, but a 1968 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, a coin so rare that collectors are ready to pay as much as $987,000 for the right one. Think that sounds too good to be true? Keep watching, because in the next few minutes, you'll discover the story behind this mysterious coin, how to identify it, why it's worth so much, and how you can turn pocket change into life-changing wealth. But here's the catch: time is running out. The more people find out about these coins, the faster they disappear into private collections. Don't let this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity pass you by. Let's dive in. The year was 1968. America was in the midst of change, civil unrest, the space race, and shifting economies. But quietly, at the heart of the U.S. Mint, a small mistake slipped into circulation. A mistake that would become a collector's treasure. Lincoln pennies were minted that year in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Now here's where it gets interesting. Coins minted in San Francisco and Denver bear the marks S and D. But the Philadelphia coins? They have no mint mark at all. That seems normal, right? But here's where the story twists. Most 1968 no mint mark pennies are common. They're everywhere. But a few of them, just a handful, were struck with such extraordinary errors, misalignments, or double dies that their value has skyrocketed into the hundreds of thousands. That we're not talking about pennies with slight scratches or wear. We're talking about near-perfect condition coins with incredibly rare features, coins that serious collectors and investors are scrambling to find. Now ask yourself, have you ever checked the fine details of your old pennies? Because someone did. And they walked away with a six-figure check. Still think it's just a penny? Let's talk specifics. The 1968 no mint mark Lincoln penny you want to look for is the one with extremely sharp details, a pristine copper tone, and absolutely no mint mark below the date. But that's not all. Certain high-grade versions, especially those graded MS67 or higher, have been known to fetch jaw-dropping prices. In one auction, a flawless 1968 no mint mark penny sold for an unbelievable $987,000. Surprised? You should be, but here's the thing: it's not just condition. It's about rarity. A rare error. A perfect strike. A copper planchet that aged just right. And yes, these coins are still out there. So now you're probably thinking, how do I know if I have one? Start by digging through your old coin jars, shoeboxes, or inherited coin collections. Look closely at every 1968 Lincoln penny you find. Is there a mint mark? If not, that's your first green flag. Then, examine the coin's condition. Is it shiny, sharp, and free of scratches? The fewer blemishes, the higher the grade, and the higher the value. Still not sure? Get it appraised. Reach out to a professional coin dealer or a third-party grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll help you determine if your coin is the real deal, and what it's worth on today's booming collector's market. But here's the emotional truth: coins like these are disappearing fast. Every day, collectors snatch them up. Every day, more people realize they missed their chance. Don't be one of them, because this isn't just about coins. It's about opportunity. About legacy. About discovering that what you thought was worthless could actually change your life. What would you do with an extra $900,000? Would you retire early? Pay off debt? Travel the world? Buy that dream home? You don't need a lottery ticket. You just need to open your eyes, and your coin jar. And here's the real kicker. These rare pennies are still being found today by ordinary people just like you. People who were curious enough to check. People who didn't ignore that one old coin sitting on the shelf. So go check. Because if you don't, someone else will. Doesn't it? But this is not a dream. It's a real opportunity. And it's sitting in the palm of your hand, the 1973 D. Lincoln penny. A coin so ordinary, most people overlook it. But what if I told you that some of these pennies are selling for up to $980,000? Let that sink in. 1 cent, nearly $1 million. You might be wondering, why this penny? What makes it so valuable? Could you have one and not even know it? Before you toss out that old coffee can of coins or ignore that dusty drawer filled with change, stay with me. Because the truth behind the 1973 D. Lincoln penny is more shocking, and more profitable, than you think. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, how to identify the jackpot variation, and how to turn this tiny coin into a life-changing fortune. but only if you act before it disappears from circulation forever. Let's step back in time for a moment. The year was 1973. Gas was cheap, bell-bottoms were everywhere, and millions of Lincoln pennies were struck at the Denver Mint. To the average eye, these pennies all looked the same. But deep within that sea of copper coins, a few rare specimens were created with small, almost invisible imperfections that would go unnoticed by millions. For decades, these hidden flaws are what collectors now call mint errors. And for the 1973 D penny, it's these errors that unlock unimaginable value. So, what exactly should you be looking for? First, focus on the mint mark. The small d below the date tells you the coin was minted in Denver. That's the first checkpoint. Next, examine the surface of the coin. Is there doubling on the letters or numbers? Are Lincoln's features unusually thick or distorted? These could be signs of a doubling error, a collector's goldmine. Another clue, an unusually thick planchet. Some 1973 D pennies were struck on experimental or foreign metal blanks by mistake. These off-metal strikes are incredibly rare, and if yours is one of them, you're not just lucky, you're sitting on a coin that could pay off your mortgage and then some. And here's where things get really interesting. One of these 1973 D Lincoln pennies recently shocked collectors when it sold for nearly $1 million in a private auction. That's right, $980,000 for a single penny. Can you feel that? The combination of excitement and urgency? That's because these coins don't just appear every day. They are vanishing fast as collectors and dealers snatch them up in hopes of striking it rich. Still think this is just another old penny? Let me ask you something. When was the last time you checked your coin jar? Because what you might have overlooked yesterday could change your life tomorrow. Now that you know what to look for, what should you do if you think you have a rare 1973 D penny? Step 1, don't clean it. A single scratch can erase thousands of dollars in value. Step 2, get it professionally graded. Reputable services like PCGS or NGC can certify your coin's condition and authenticity. Step 3, contact a licensed coin dealer or auction house. They can help you sell it at the right time for the right price, but remember this, every day, more and more people are waking up to the value of these hidden treasures. The competition is growing. And once these rare coins are locked away in private collections, they may never resurface. This is your chance to turn something ordinary into something extraordinary, your chance to take control of your financial future with a coin that most people throw away without a second thought. So don't just watch and wonder, take action, check your change. Search your drawers. Dig through those old jars and boxes, because the next millionaire penny could be in your house right now, waiting. But the 1979 D Lincoln penny has shocked the coin collecting world, with rare examples fetching up to $976,000, yes, you heard that right. Almost $1 million for a coin most people wouldn't even bend down to pick up. Imagine paying off your mortgage, buying your dream car, or traveling the world, all from a coin you've had since childhood. And the best part? These pennies are still out there, hiding in old jars, forgotten collections, and even in your pocket change. But not all 1979 D pennies are created equal. There's something very specific, very rare, about the ones that command life-changing value, and if you don't know what to look for, you could be holding one right now, and throw it away tomorrow. So, stay with me. Because in the next few minutes, you'll learn exactly what makes this coin so valuable, how to spot the jackpot version, and what you need to do right now to cash in before it's too late. Let's rewind. The year is 1979. Gas costs less than $1. The average house sells for under $50,000. And the Denver Mint is quietly producing millions of Lincoln pennies. On the surface, nothing seems out of the ordinary, just another batch of copper-coated coins featuring President Lincoln's familiar profile. But here's where it gets fascinating. Among these millions of pennies, a tiny number were struck with subtle, yet extremely valuable, minting anomalies. These rare variations weren't noticed for years. It took expert eyes and decades of coin collecting to uncover what makes them so special. Now collectors and investors are racing to find them. So what exactly should you look for? First, the mint mark. The letter D under the date means the coin was struck at the Denver Mint. That's your starting point, but the magic lies in what collectors call die varieties. These are small errors or differences in the design that happened during the minting process. Point one of the most valuable is the 1979 D Lincoln penny with a double die obverse, where parts of Lincoln's face, the lettering, or the date appear slightly doubled due to a misalignment during production. Another valuable version is a 1979 D penny struck on a zinc planchet instead of the standard copper, making it extremely rare and lightweight. Sounds minor? To collectors, it's the golden ticket. Point one verified specimen recently auctioned for close to $976,000. Not because it's made of gold or diamonds, but because it's so rare, so perfectly flawed, and so desired. Let that sink in. A 1-cent coin, now worth more than many people's lifetime savings. Here's a question for you: when was the last time you actually looked closely at your spare change? Could your junk drawer be hiding a small fortune? If this is surprising you, good. Because it should. Most people ignore their old pennies. They assume they're worthless. That assumption could be the most expensive mistake of their lives. You don't have to be a coin expert. You don't need fancy tools. Just a little knowledge and the curiosity to check, because the window is closing. As more of these rare coins are found, their value may never be this high again. The longer you wait, the higher the risk that someone else will cash in before you even start looking. So what should you do right now? Step 1. Grab every 1979 penny you can find, from your coin jar, your drawers, even your old wallets. Step 2. Separate the ones with a D mint mark under the date. These are from the Denver Mint, the exact batch we're talking about. Step 3. Examine them under good lighting. Look for doubling on the date, lettering, or Lincoln's face. Check if the coin feels lighter than usual, which may suggest a zinc planchet error. Don't worry if you're unsure. Take clear photos and send them to a trusted coin appraiser or dealer. Or submit them to professional grading services like PCGS or NGC. Remember, condition matters. Even small scratches can affect value, but not always fatally. If you have the right variety, collectors will pay for it, flaws and all. And here's the best part. You're not just searching for money. You're uncovering a piece of American history. A coin that survived decades, changed hands through thousands of stories, and now could transform your future. That's not just rare, that's powerful. So ask yourself, what if you're holding the next record-breaking penny and don't even know it? What if the moment you finally check your coins becomes the turning point in your financial life? Don't wait. Because someone else, maybe even your neighbor, could be digging through their drawer tonight, and find the very coin you overlooked. This is your chance. Start searching. Start checking. Start believing that even the smallest things, like a 1-cent coin, can bring the biggest change. And if you want more insider secrets on rare coins that could make you rich, hit that subscribe button. The next $1 million penny is out there. Will it be yours? Yes, a simple 1980 Lincoln penny with no mint mark has sent shockwaves through the coin collecting world, and it's hiding in plain sight. Imagine reaching into an old drawer, picking up a coin, and realizing it could change your life. Not tomorrow, not next year, today. You might be holding a tiny fortune without even knowing it. The question is, do you know what to look for? Most people don't. Most people throw away opportunities every single day, and they don't even realize it until it's too late. But you're about to find out exactly how to spot the rare and valuable 1980 no mint mark penny that's making headlines, because in the next few minutes, we're going to uncover how a 1-cent coin could bring you closer to a 6-figure payday. Stick around, because the end of this video might just be the beginning of your new life. Let's start with the basics. What makes the 1980 Lincoln penny so special? First, the design. The obverse, or front, features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, created by Victor D. Brenner, a design that's been in use since 1909. The reverse features the Lincoln Memorial, a staple of American coinage for decades. At first glance, it looks like any ordinary penny. But here's where it gets interesting. A typical 1980 penny should carry a mint mark, usually a small D for Denver or S for San Francisco, found just below the date, but the rare and valuable version has no mint mark at all. No letter. No indication of where it was struck. Just the year, 1980. That missing mint mark means it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. Now you might say, so what? Isn't that normal? Yes, and no. While Philadelphia pennies often lack a mint mark, What truly sets this coin apart is its condition and the mystery around its ultra-high-grade versions. Some 1980 no-mint mark pennies have appeared in near-perfect condition, graded MS67 or higher, and that's where the money is. One such penny was sold at auction for a staggering $969,500. Yes, you heard that right, nearly $1 million for a coin that once cost just 1 cent. How is that even possible? It's all about rarity, demand, and condition. Serious collectors are willing to pay huge premiums for coins that combine all three. But here's the kicker, not every no-mint mark penny is valuable. There are millions out there, but only a few that tick every box. So how do you know if yours is the one? Here's something you probably didn't expect, that in a blind test. Even seasoned collectors have missed spotting these valuable coins. That's right, they've literally held 5-figure pennies in their hands, and let them go. So let me ask you, when was the last time you checked your change jar, or looked closely at those old coins in your kitchen drawer or attic box? That little moment of curiosity could turn into a massive windfall, but only if you know what to look for. Now, let's dive deeper, because this isn't just about a date or a mint mark. It's about details, and the smallest detail could mean the biggest reward. To truly cash in on a 1980 no-mint mark penny, condition is everything. Start by checking the coin's surface. Does it look brand new? Are the features sharp and uncirculated? If so, you could be holding a mint state coin, and that's where the magic happens. Professional grading companies like PCGS and NGC assign grades from 1 to 70. Anything over MS65 is considered exceptional, and when it hits MS67 or above, that's when you step into the world of premium value. Next, look for luster. A brilliant, glossy shine could indicate the coin has never been circulated. Also, inspect for strike quality. Are all the lines on Lincoln's coat visible? Can you read "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" without any blurring? If all signs point to a high-grade piece, it's time to act. Get it graded. Get it listed, because collectors are watching, and they're ready to buy. But remember, the market is changing fast. The longer you wait, the more competition rises. The best coins are being found, graded, and sold every day. If you hesitate, you could miss your window. A single penny, sitting unnoticed in your drawer or jingling in your car's cup holder, could be worth nearly $1 million. Yes, you heard that right. 1 cent, $961,000. Now pause for a moment. What if that penny is already in your house? What if you spend it tomorrow, without ever knowing? This is not a myth. This is not some collector's fantasy. This is real, and today, we're talking about one of the most shocking treasures hiding in plain sight, the 1984 Lincoln penny. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to spot this rare coin, why collectors are paying sky-high prices for it, and how you could turn a single copper coin into a life-changing fortune. But first, let's go back in time, to where the story of this unassuming coin begins. The year was 1984. America was thriving, the economy was strong, and millions of Lincoln pennies were pouring out of the Denver Mint. But among these countless coins, a mistake happened. A tiny error that would go unnoticed by most, and eventually create one of the most valuable pennies in U.S. history. Now here's a question. What happens when a coin is struck with a flaw so rare, only a handful survive? Collectors go wild. Bidding wars erupt. Prices skyrocket. And suddenly, what was once a 1-cent piece becomes a 6-figure treasure. So what makes the 1984 penny so special? Let's break it down. First, the D mint mark tells us it was made in Denver. That's important. But even more critical is what's hidden on some of these coins, a rare double die error that causes the Lincoln portrait or the lettering to appear slightly doubled. It's called a double die obverse. And if your 1984 penny has it, you're not holding pocket change. You're holding a goldmine, but not every 1984 penny is valuable. Most are still worth just 1 cent. The key is spotting the error, and knowing how to identify the exact traits that make a collector pay more than the price of a luxury car. And here's the real twist, one of these pennies recently sold for a mind-blowing $961,000 at auction. That's enough to pay off a house, start a business, or retire early. You might be wondering, how could such a tiny coin be worth more than an entire year's salary? It all comes down to rarity, condition, and demand. And right now, demand is exploding. now let's talk numbers. That if your 1984 D penny has no error, it might still bring in a few dollars if it's in mint condition. But with the double die obverse, you're looking at hundreds of thousands, sometimes close to $1 million. Even those with less noticeable doubling can still be worth several $1,000s, especially if graded and authenticated by professional services like PCGS or NGC. Collectors are actively hunting these coins. They don't care if you found it in an old shoebox, at a yard sale, or inside a forgotten coin jar. If it matches the traits, they will pay. Still not sure if your penny is the one? Ask yourself this: can you afford not to check? Because every day that goes by, you might be missing the biggest opportunity of your life, and let's be honest. In today's world, everyone is looking for a way out of the rat race. A way to escape debt, to build wealth, to live free. What if the answer has been sitting in your home this whole time? Think about it. One small decision today could create a ripple effect that changes your financial future forever. So here's what you need to do next: check your change. Look for that 1984 D mint mark. Use a magnifying glass to examine Lincoln's portrait and the words, "In God We Trust." If anything looks doubled, you might be holding a rare variety. Once you find one, do not clean it. Preserve it. Then contact a professional coin grading service to get it authenticated, and if you don't have one yet, keep looking. Because the people finding these coins aren't lucky. They're just paying attention. Let this be your wake-up call. The world of coins is no longer just a hobby. It's a gateway to wealth, and you're only one penny away. Still curious about which other coins might be worth a fortune? The next one on our list is even rarer, and chances are, it's one you've seen before. But what if I told you, that one ordinary-looking penny from 1991, with a tiny little D below the date, could be worth as much as $954,000, yes. That's nearly $1 million for a single coin. Now stop and think. Have you ever checked the pennies in your jar, your wallet, your drawer? Because if you haven't, you could be sitting on a goldmine without even knowing it. In the next few minutes, you'll discover the secret behind the 1991 D Lincoln penny, why collectors are scrambling to get their hands on it, and how just one small detail could change your entire financial future. But here's the real question: will you find it before someone else does? Let's dive in. To truly understand why this 1991 D penny is so valuable, we need to go back to the basics. The D stands for the Denver Mint, one of the official coin-producing facilities of the United States. In 1991, millions of pennies were struck with this D mint mark. So why is one worth close to $1 million? It's all about rarity. You see, not all coins are created equal. Some leave the mint with errors. Others are struck on the wrong metal planchets. A few are produced with microscopic mistakes that even the sharpest eye can miss. But those tiny flaws, they make all the difference. The most valuable 1991 D penny ever sold wasn't just any penny. It had a nearly perfect strike, incredible luster, and no visible wear. It was graded MS-69 by a professional grading service. That's Mint State 69, just 1 point away from absolute perfection, and that's what collectors dream of. Perfection in imperfection. Scarcity in a sea of sameness. This particular penny went for over $954,000 at auction. That's life-changing money from a coin that could easily slip through your fingers unnoticed. Now here's the twist. Other valuable variations of the 1991 D penny might still be out there. In attics. In basements. In forgotten coffee tins. So the next time you hear a coin drop on the floor, don't just pick it up. Inspect it. When was the last time you actually looked at a penny, not just glanced? I mean really looked, because millions of people throw away potential fortunes every single day, simply because they don't know what to look for. What if your next trip to the grocery store handed you a rare penny in change? What if you already have it, tucked between sofa cushions or lying in your glove compartment? This isn't just pocket change anymore. This is opportunity. So how do you know if your 1991 D penny is worth more than 1 cent? Start by checking the condition. The higher the grade, the higher the value. If it looks brand new, untouched, and still shiny after all these years, That's your first clue. Next, look for errors. Double dies, off-center strikes, or coins with unusual edges or surfaces. These are the unicorns collectors are hunting for. And finally, get your coin professionally graded. Because no matter how rare or beautiful it looks, its true value is only unlocked with certification. But here's the kicker. These rare pennies aren't going to sit around forever. As more people learn about them, the chances of finding one in the wild get slimmer by the day. So if you're serious about wealth, if you're dreaming of financial freedom, early retirement, or just one unforgettable windfall, don't let this chance pass you by. Go check your change. And here's something else most people don't know. There's another Lincoln penny, even older than 1991, that recently sold for six figures due to a shocking mint error no one saw coming. Want to know what that coin is? Imagine waking up tomorrow, reaching into your old change drawer, and discovering a 1993 Lincoln penny, one that collectors would fight to own. Not just any penny, but a rare variety that's recently shaken the numismatic world with a staggering market value of up to $950,000. Let that sink in. A 1-cent coin. Worth more than most people's homes. This isn't a fantasy. It's real. And right now, it could be hiding in your house, quietly waiting to change your life forever. But here's the question, would you even recognize it if you saw it? In this video, we're going to uncover the full story behind the 1993 Lincoln penny, why it's worth a fortune, how to identify the ultra-rare versions, and what steps you must take if you ever find one. Stick with me. Because if you click away now, you might miss the one piece of information that turns your pocket change into a six-figure payday. Let's rewind to 1993. It was the year Bill Clinton entered office, Jurassic Park hit theaters, and the Denver Mint struck hundreds of millions of Lincoln pennies. To most, these coins were forgettable, just everyday change used to buy coffee, pay tolls, or sit in a drawer. But hidden in that sea of copper-plated zinc coins, something remarkable happened. A few 1993 Lincoln pennies were struck with unusual characteristics. These coins were never meant for public circulation, and yet, a handful slipped through. Collectors believe that rare errors during the minting process, combined with exceptional preservation, created a perfect storm. The kind of storm that turns a penny into a nearly $1 million masterpiece. Now, let's be clear. Not every 1993 penny is valuable. But the rarest ones, those with specific high-grade conditions, double dies, or misstrikes, have fetched jaw-dropping prices at auctions. Some reported sales over $950,000. Think about that for a second. A coin smaller than a bottle cap, commanding more money than most luxury cars, and the most exciting part. These valuable varieties were not made for collectors. They were made for circulation. That means they are still out there, waiting to be discovered by someone like you. Feeling curious yet? Now let's get to the part that could change your life. How do you identify the valuable 1993 Lincoln penny? Start with the mint mark. You're looking for the small D under the date on the front of the coin. That tells you it was minted in Denver. Next, examine the coin's condition. The most valuable ones are in pristine, uncirculated state, meaning no scratches, wear, or discoloration. These high-grade coins are often graded MS67 or higher by professional grading services like PCGS, but here's where it gets interesting. Some 1993 pennies have what's known as a double die, where parts of the design appear slightly duplicated due to a misalignment during minting. These errors are rare and extremely sought after. Others show subtle variations in the spacing of the letters or the Lincoln memorial on the back. These details might seem small, but in the world of coin collecting, they can mean the difference between 1 cent and $900,000. And what if you think you found one? Don't clean it. Don't scratch it. And definitely don't try to sell it at a pawn shop. Instead, get it authenticated. Professional grading is your first step to unlocking its true value. Then, if confirmed, you can contact high-end auction houses or reputable dealers. The demand is real. And collectors are willing to pay a premium, but here's the kicker, these coins don't wait around forever. As more are discovered, rarity drops, and so does the value. So if you're holding on to old change, the clock is ticking. You could be sitting on a goldmine and not even know it. Now, ask yourself this: is there a jar of old coins in your home right now? A dusty drawer? A childhood collection, because that's where some of the most valuable pennies in history have been found, in the most ordinary places. The 1993 D penny worth nearly $1 million is more than just a coin. It's a reminder that incredible wealth can come from the most unexpected places, but here's the truth: most people will never bother to check. They'll toss their pennies aside, unaware that one of them could rewrite their financial future. You don't have to be most people. Check your coins. Learn what to look for. And stay alert, because tomorrow, we're revealing another Lincoln penny from the 90s that's already made one man a millionaire. Will it be your turn next? What if I told you that one small penny, a coin you might overlook every single day, could be your golden ticket to a six-figure payday? Imagine digging through your old coin jar and pulling out a single copper-colored coin, only to find it's worth up to $944,000. Sounds unbelievable? Then brace yourself, because this is not a myth. This is the true story of the 1998 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. It looks ordinary. Feels ordinary. But for the select few who know what to look for, it's the ultimate jackpot, and if you don't check your coins today, someone else might buy it from you for a few cents, then walk away with your fortune. Stay with me, because what you're about to learn could permanently change how you see pocket change, and possibly your entire financial future. Let's rewind to 1998, a year of dial-up internet, gas at $1 a gallon, and the release of a small coin that would become one of the most mysterious and valuable modern-day rarities. The 1998 Lincoln penny was struck in Philadelphia. That's why, unlike coins from Denver or San Francisco, it doesn't carry a mint mark. So far, nothing unusual. Right? But here's where things get interesting. Among the millions of pennies minted that year, a few escaped with flawless surfaces, rare die varieties, or misaligned strikes, and in the world of coin collecting, these minor details can mean major money. One such 1998 penny, with absolutely no mint mark, shocked collectors when it sold for hundreds of thousands at auction. Why? Because of its immaculate condition, called MS-70 by grading standards, and a combination of minting anomalies that made it one of a kind. Imagine holding a coin just like it in your hand, and having no idea you were holding something worth more than your house. Now here's the kicker: these valuable coins don't look like treasure, they look just like any other penny, until you know what signs to look for. Still think it's just spare change? Let me ask you something: when was the last time you actually looked at your pennies? We all rush past them, toss them in jars, lose them under car seats, but right now, thousands of collectors are making real money off the very coins others ignore. And you? You might be sitting on a fortune without even knowing it. Here's a wild thought: what if you've already spent a 1998 no mint mark penny worth nearly $1 million on a cup of coffee? So how do you know if you have the 1998 penny that collectors are chasing? First, check the date. It should read 1998, with no letter under the date. Next, examine the coin's surface. Is it shiny, smooth, free from scratches? A pristine condition can skyrocket its value. And then, there's the detail. Some 1998 pennies show doubling on the obverse, especially around Lincoln's eye or the words, "In God We Trust." That's called a double die, and it sends collectors into a frenzy. Now, here's where things get real: even lightly circulated 1998 no mint mark pennies can sell for hundreds, uncirculated and rarer versions. They've crossed into six-figure territory, with one reported to sell for over $944,000. Still think pennies are worthless? But here's the million-dollar question: what other modern pennies are secretly valuable, and how can you tell which ones to keep, and which ones are just copper clutter? In the next video, I'll reveal another overlooked year, one that even seasoned collectors miss. And it could be sitting in your wallet right now. So before you cash in your change, before you spend a single penny, ask yourself, what if the path to wealth has been hiding in your coin jar all along? Now is not the time to wait. Start checking your pennies today. Dig through those jars, search those drawers, and inspect every 1998 coin you find, because the truth is simple: the people who act on this knowledge could be holding their future in the palm of their hand, and those who don't, they might just spend it and never know what they had. So subscribe, stay curious, and keep hunting, because your million-dollar penny might be closer than you think. Your change could change your life. What if I told you that one of the most overlooked coins in American history could secretly be worth up to $2 million, and what if that coin isn't hidden away in some millionaire's vault, but sitting quietly in an old coffee can, in your attic, right now? This isn't just any penny. It's a coin that sparked controversy the day it was released. A coin so powerful that collectors have spent their entire lives chasing it. A coin that, if you're lucky enough to own, could instantly change your financial future, but here's the twist: most people who've held this penny never even knew what they had. They spent it. They lost it. They threw away what could have been their one shot at a fortune, and the clue? It's hidden in something so small, so subtle, most eyes completely miss it. What makes this penny different from the rest? Why does it have no mint mark, and how do you know if your 1909 penny is the life-changing kind? Stay with me. Because once you understand what makes the 1909 Wheat Lincoln penny with no mint mark so rare, you'll never look at a penny the same way again. Let's go back to 1909, a year of transformation in American history. President Theodore Roosevelt had just pushed for a radical redesign of American coinage. He wanted something that stood for strength, legacy, American identity. And for the first time ever, the U.S. Mint made a bold move. They placed a real person's face on our smallest coin. That person, Abraham Lincoln. The wheat penny was born. And with it, a frenzy unlike anything the coin world had seen before. But what most people don't realize is that the very first version of that coin, struck in Philadelphia with no mint mark, carried something even more controversial. The initials VDB. Victor David Brenner, the artist behind the design, had placed his initials boldly on the reverse. And just like that, the public erupted. Critics said the initials were too large, too prominent. Just weeks after its release, the Mint pulled the design. Production halted. A new version was created, this time without the VDB. But here's where the magic lies. For a very brief window, the 1909 wheat penny with no mint mark and with the VDB initials was released into the public. Most were spent, lost, forgotten. But a few, a very few, survived, and those that did, they've become legendary among collectors. In pristine condition, graded MS67 or higher, this coin has shattered expectations. One sale even crossed the jaw-dropping figure of $2 million, yes, a penny. 1 cent. $2 million, and the kicker. Thousands of people own 1909 Lincoln wheat pennies, but they have no idea which version they actually have. Some are holding onto the right coin, but in the wrong condition. Others have the perfect coin, tucked away in a drawer, never knowing it could be the key to a completely different life. Did you know that even slightly worn examples can fetch thousands? And it's not just about the money. This coin represents a turning point in American coinage. It's the first Lincoln cent. The beginning of a design that would last over 100 years. And for true collectors, that historical weight is priceless. Imagine being one of the few who recognized it. Who kept it. Who believed it was special, even when others overlooked it. So how do you know if you have the real deal? First, check the year. It must be 1909. Next, look just below Lincoln's shoulder on the front. If there's no mint mark, that means it was struck in Philadelphia. Now flip the coin to the back. Look closely at the bottom center, between the wheat stalks. Do you see 3 small letters? VDB. If they're there, and the coin has no mint mark, you might be holding one of the rarest pennies ever made. Condition matters. Even a small scratch can impact value. That's why you should avoid cleaning the coin, ever. Instead, place it in a soft, dry container. And before doing anything else, get it graded by a reputable service like PCGS or NGC. It could be worth hundreds, thousands, or millions, but you won't know until it's properly evaluated. You can check recent auction sites. Look at high-profile coin listings. See what similar coins are selling for. And then ask yourself, are you holding on to a piece of history, or a lost opportunity? Because in the world of rare coins, it's not just about luck. It's about knowledge, awareness, timing, and this is your moment. Don't let it slip by. The next coin that changes your life might not be gold. It might not even be silver. It might just be a penny. Your next big discovery could be sitting in your old drawer right now. Go check. Before someone else beats you to it.